Sports Talk. Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everyone. It's me, your boy, Ryan Flowers, a.k.a. Clutch Sports Talk, and I'm back in the house with another episode of NFL Sunday Wake Up with me, man. It's week 8, and the season is just moving along rather strongly, and things are picking up as we continue to progress towards the this winter haul we got here, and we're gonna really start to find out about some teams if we don't already know about them so far. So as usual, man, we're going to talk about my power rankings going into week 8. I know we kicked off already on Thursday night, and then we're going to go over each and every game for week 8 and all of the matchups, and including my clutch picks of the week, which, man, I've been getting my ass kicked the last 2 weeks. I'm hoping I can get back on the right track, man, but we'll have to wait and see. But hey, listen, sit back, strap up, man. It's going to be a great show. Sit back and relax. This is Clutch Sports Talk, NFL Sunday Wake Up with me, Ryan Flowers. Let's go. Hey, good morning once again, everyone. Hope you guys are doing all right, man. It's Sunday, so you guys know what that means. It's another episode of NFL Sunday Wake Up. Man, like I said, week 8, man, it's crazy how fast these weeks go by. And I say this every year. It's like, I remember just doing the first week's show, right? And then now we're at week 8 and we're chugging along here, man. But we got lots to get into. But before we do that, make sure if you're watching right now, you're in the show, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and like and even comment, man. Say what's up. If you got any questions, man, please drop those comments in there. I appreciate that. Also, head over to the Grid Network as well. If you haven't subscribed to the Grid Network, we got a ton of other special content creators doing their thing on there. So make sure you guys do that as well. And per usual, man, if you haven't subscribed to me, make sure you continue to do that and hit me up on my other social media platforms, man, with Instagram and TikTok. You guys see that all information down there below. And that's it. And that's it, man. So, but listen, again, week 8's here. What more else can I say? I think we kind of know what's going on and with most of these teams and where they stand. Excuse me one second. Where they stand and who they are for this point. I at least for me, I kind of know what they are. But you know what? Rather than just kind of like randomly talking about it, let's get straight into the power rankings. Okay. As we can see here, we got number 1, man. This is pretty easy for me. Philadelphia Eagles. They're the best team right now in the National Football League. They're still not clicking on all cylinders, and that's the scary part with them. No one can stop the brotherly shove, right? 4th and 1. They're going for it. They're going to get it almost 100% of the time. Again, A.J. Brown is starting to come on now. The last couple of weeks now, I think he's caught over 100 yards the last 3 or 4 games in a row. He's finding his stride now. And then they went out there and traded for an all-pro type of safety in Kevin Byard from the Tennessee Titans. I don't understand. When are teams going to learn not to trade to these fools? But they do it anyway. And then Tennessee, too. Like, come on, Tennessee. Right? Come on. How are you going to give one of your best guys up? But I get it. You know, it is what it is. But this team, man, Jalen Hurts not playing as strong as he did last year, but it doesn't matter right now because they're winning football games and they're beating everyone that's in front of them, right? And last week was a primetime matchup against a team that we all thought were contenders, and they might very well be pretenders in the Miami Dolphins, and that defense shut them down. So I got the Eagles coming in at number 1. Now coming in at number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. Again, maybe not looking pretty. They're not scoring all over the place like they have in the past, but I cannot count out Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. That dynamic is just too strong for me to say, you know what, I can't see them trying to defend their Super Bowl championship. The defense is playing really well still. They got a tough one today, I would say, in Denver. It's going to be really, really cold and conditions might not be suitable, but it is what it is. We'll talk about that game later. But however, though, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, you can't go wrong. I got them at number 2. And climbing up the charts rather rapidly, the Baltimore Ravens. I know their fans are not surprised, right? And Lamar Jackson is playing like a league MVP like he once was before. So shout out to him, even though, you know, I'm very skeptical of him anyway in general, just to keep it real. But I got to give him his props, man. He's playing really, really well. He's doing what he needs to do to take his team to the promised land, and he's earning that contract that he signed in the offseason. So I'll give him credit for that. But we'll have to wait and see with them because injuries always plague this team somehow, some way. But, shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. All right, coming in at number 4, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Look, slowly, steadily winning some games. Listen, Travis Etienne is literally a cheat code. You give this guy the ball, he's gone. He's out of there. I like what they're doing. Their defense is playing really stout. They got a tough one today. They got to head up to Pittsburgh and take on the Steelers in a formidable defense, but we'll talk about that game later on. But listen, I like what the Jags are doing. Started slow, but I think they're starting to find their rhythm, and they're moving up, and I got them at number 4. All right, coming in at number 5, how the mighty have fallen. Niners literally a couple weeks ago coming off of a shellacking of my Dallas Cowboys. Listen, I think we all thought that this team had an unstoppable path to the Super Bowl. I remember watching on ESPN, they were talking about, oh, these guys might go undefeated. Look at their schedule. And look, they've dropped their last 2. They lost to Cleveland, which they probably shouldn't have lost to them. I get it. The kicker's got to make that kick. And then they lost this past Monday night to the Minnesota Vikings on the road. Brock Purdy, I wouldn't say like he's terrible, but listen, he is what he is. He's not a guy that can come from behind. He's not a top-tier quarterback. He's an ultimate game manager. Not just a game manager, but an ultimate game manager. And now that you're seeing that there's injuries on both sides of the football, I'm not saying that this team is totally out of the race. They're still one of the top teams in the NFC. But right now, they're not playing like that. So I got them at number 5, and they can easily jump some of these teams like Jacksonville or Baltimore. But they got to get back to the winning side of the column. I mean, that's just a fact. You drop 2, I can't keep you up there. You can't, 1 I can see, but you drop 2 in a row. I got to drop you down. I'm just being fair. All right, number 6, probably the most inconsistent team in all of the National Football League. 1 minute they look like Super Bowl contenders, the next minute they're looking like the draft lottery guy team. Okay, now I know they escaped Thursday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but let's go back last week Sunday where they just lost to the New England Patriots. Okay, the team that cannot score on anybody. Okay, the Buffalo Bills, man, they're just one of the biggest enigma. I don't get them. I really don't get this team. I put my neck out for them last week, and guess what? And we got a comment talking about Brock Purdy. Patrick Brown says, Purdy will play. Kind of surprised he cleared concussion protocol this week. Well, they had no choice because they got Sam Darnold. And listen, I'm not a big fan of Sam Darnold anymore either. So I guess they got to go with Brock Purdy. But back to the Buffalo Bills. I mean, listen, they got talent. That's not. It's just they're inconsistent, and that's all I can say about them. And I really can't trust them anymore. I can't put them up in the top echelon of teams in the AFC because I don't trust them. So that's all I got on them. I mean, I'm not going to even placate with them, but and moving on to the number 7 team, another team that's somewhat turning out to look like they're very inconsistent too. Like I'm still a fan of the Dolphins. I like what they can do on offense in theory, but they got to produce in primetime situations or big games. And the last 2 times they've played a primetime type of team, Buffalo Bills and Philadelphia Eagles, they've struggled offensively, both on the road. And it seems like they're going to have to, barring a catastrophic meltdown, they're gonna be in the playoffs, and they're going to have to probably go on the road somewhere, okay? And that offense is going to have to show up at some point, right? They're still a solid team in theory. I like what they can do on offense, but they got to step it up in these big-time games, and they just haven't, right? It's fine. You can beat the Broncos and hang 70 or whatever the hell they hung on them. But I'm not saying you're going to go and hang 70 on the Eagles. That's not going to happen. But that offense has to show up a little bit better, man. And especially you're going to have to go on the road. And they're not going to get a lot of credit because they're a warm weather team used to playing in favorable conditions. But come playoff time, they might have to travel back up to Buffalo. They're going to have to go on the road to Kansas City, okay? And whatever the AFC team, maybe Jacksonville, right? It might be warmer weather for them. But listen, this team has to do better against playoff caliber type teams that they haven't. They're 0-2 this year, at least in my opinion, in like big time caliber games, especially when the whole country is watching you, right? This is when you got to shine, not just when you're blowing out Denver and these other teams that you're blowing out. You got to beat these other teams. So I got Dolphins coming out number 7. All right, number 8, the Detroit Lions. I don't want to hear shit about them anymore. They're having a good season. They're probably going to end up winning their division, but that's pretty much it. Like last week was their opportunity to really set the record straight and let everyone know that they are a team And what do? They head over to M&T Bank and they get their ass handed to them by the Baltimore Ravens. And it's one thing if they had lost close. I get it. It's hard to win a National Football League, and I think sometimes as fans we forget, like, these guys got to earn these wins. It's not like they show up and they get off the bus, they get dressed, and they hit the field and like, oh, we're gonna win, right? No, you gotta work, man. You gotta work, and to only manage 6 points and giving up 38 points. Come on, Detroit. If you want to be considered, and I get it, every team has their loss, and I understand that, but this was their prime spot to really let people know, like, you know what? We're not just some fly-by-night type team. We're ready to take the next step here and become one of these teams in the NFC that people can really say, you know what? The Lions are for real. So, I mean, sorry, Detroit Lions fans, if you thought you guys were real, you're probably not. It's probably a mirage at this point, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Maybe they'll bounce back. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. But I got them at number 8, and luckily they're still at number 8. All right. Coming in at number 9, Dallas Cowboys, who were off last week. Pretty good win on the road the week prior on a Monday night against the LA Chargers. Defense looked really, really good. They had Justin Herbert's number. Now they got a test today, and you're probably thinking, the Rams, that shouldn't be a test. Well, it should. It's probably gonna be, because that's how the Cowboys play, right? The Cowboys can beat everybody, but they can lose to anyone, right? And I know that sounds retarded, but let that marinate. This is the type of team where, again, they have the talent, but they just can't get it produced on the field. So, I still got them at number 9. I'm not going to take them out of the rankings just because they didn't play. They still got the talent on the team to get the job done. But are they in the top echelon? Are they up there with the Eagles? Hell no. Are they up there with the top 5 teams? No, they're not. They're just not. And I'm being real. I'm keeping honest with you. They have some of the personnel again, but they're just, I don't know. It's something about the Dallas Cowboys. There's something missing from them. So, and then all you hear is, oh, they should go get Derrick Henry. Oh, they should go get this guy. Look, Jerry Jones is not going to pull the trigger on any of these trades. He's just not. I was surprised when they went and got Amari Cooper a couple years ago, to be frank with you, right? And look how it turned out, right? Now Amari Cooper is gone. He's in Cleveland. And when he was with us, it was a very productive relationship, right? But Jerry Jones he's too proud to admit when he was wrong. They should have never gotten rid of Amari Cooper. They should have figured out a way to keep him there to help Dak, to help that offense. But listen, Cowboy fans, don't be delusional. They're not going to go make a trade for anybody. Oh, they might go get Zach Ertz. Who cares if we go get Zach Ertz? I don't care. That's not a deal that, or a move that makes me think, oh, they're going to win a championship if you go and get freaking Zach Ertz, right? Go get an offensive tackle. Go get a lineman, right? Because guess who's out again? Tyron Smith probably be out again. So it's like, I'm done with this team in that regard. Like, I'll support them, but I'm not going to be this super fanboy and be delusional and have grand visions of this team hoisting that Lombardi trophy at the end of the year in February, because they're just not that type of team. So it is what it is. All right. And finally, coming in at number 10, Seattle Seahawks. This team, I still like their chances in the NFC West, especially right now with the Niners falling a little bit. Geno Smith is going to have to play better, a little bit better. But they found another corner in Witherspoon. Okay. Him and Woolen and Witherspoon, 2 bookend corners, they found something there. I still love their defense. I like what they can offer. They can continue to run the football with Kenneth Walker. This team, again, they're not a sexy pick. They're very reliable type team. Okay. And so I got them at number 10. And honestly, honorable mention, I probably could have put the Houston Texans in there, but it just is what it is. So those are the power rankings for week 8 for me. Love them, like them, leave them. It is what it is. And there you have it. There it is. All right. So again, let's get a comment here. We got Patrick says, we all know Jerry likes the guys we have. I'm at peace, bro. Win enough games to make the postseason and exit in round 2. Yeah. That's spot on. Like he loves the guys he loves, and he picks, and they picked some really good guys in the past. Don't get me wrong, but it's like we're not winning, and they're not making moves to get to that next level, and that's what's so frustrating as a Cowboys fan. So, like Patrick, he said it perfectly, man. Like, he's at peace with it. He's at peace with it, and so am I. I'm not gonna be out here stressing myself over like I used to when I was younger. Like it is what it is. Because at the end of the day, the Cowboys, they don't care about what I'm saying. I mean, and they shouldn't, right? I'm just this little guy here, on a podcast here, right? So it is what it is. But I'm not gonna get stressed out about it and get into arguments with people over on social media because it's stupid. It's really stupid. Because the only people that know what's happening is Jerry Jones. Okay. And I don't even think he really knows what he's doing at the end of the day. So we'll have to wait and see. All right. Sorry. Let's get into some of these picks of the week here, or the previews. Week 8, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars heading into Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. This could be not a trap game, I would say, but this is one of those games. If Jacksonville wants to continue to make their mark, you got to go out and win this game. You got to go and survive this game, right? I know the Steelers' offense isn't great, but that defense is a phenomenal defense, and they'll have a trick or two for Jacksonville. But however, though, I'm going to take Jacksonville because they got the better quarterback, they got the better offense, and their defense isn't too shabby themselves. So I like them to win on the road. Now, I don't know what the weather condition is going to be like, but I could only assume it'd be cold. But nonetheless, I like Jacksonville. All right, in my first clutch picks of the week, we got the New York Jets taking on the New York Giants. It's a home and home game. Won't give you the actual pick yet, but I will say this: Daniel Jones is going to be sitting out again. Now, there probably is a quarterback controversy in New York with the Giants. Tyrod Taylor plays just as well, if not better, than Daniel Jones, which is ironic because they gave Daniel Jones a ton of money, and they're locked into him. So, listen, and the Jets itself, they got a great defense. I think Zach Wilson he's not a complete bum, right? I think he's just trying to hold serve until, maybe Aaron Rodgers can come back, which the Jets are doing, right? They're doing all they can to stay in the hunt there, just to give themselves an opportunity to maybe perhaps get the return of Aaron Rodgers. So we'll have to wait and see. But the Battle of New York, that'll be an interesting game, but I'll give you my pick later on that one. Then we got Houston taking on Carolina, battle of the two top quarterbacks taken in this previous draft. Bryce Young taking on CJ Stroud. Houston's are trending up, Carolina Panthers trending down, which I'm surprised that Carolina isn't as good. I mean, I didn't think they would go out and just like win a lot of games, but they just really honestly, man, right now, and I guess it's still early. We're only in week 8, in both these guys' careers, but they've whiffed on Bryce Young so far, man. He's missed 2 games so far this year. At least I think at least 1 game for sure that I can remember. And just offensively, they just, they went and got Miles Sanders, who I thought would have helped them a little bit. He ain't done shit. He ain't done nothing, right? Adam Thielen, which I wasn't like, oh my God, Adam Thielen's going to Carolina, like they're gonna win the Super. Like, no, but they just don't have anything going for them, right? So probably wasn't a good idea to get rid of DJ Moore, especially when you have a young quarterback in Bryce Young. So it's not all his fault either, because who is he throwing to at the end of the day? So I don't, but again, I'll give you guys my pick on this one. You probably can kind of tell who I'm leaning to. Then we got New England heading to Miami. Listen, last week, I don't know how the hell they won that game, but they did. I'm talking about New England. Don't think they'll win this game today. Miami's going to be a little pissed off that they lost last week, and they're going now. New England's defense is probably going to keep them in this game because that's still a formidable defense. Don't get it twisted. For as bad as the offense plays throughout the season, that defense is top tier. So if New England can ever figure out the offensive side of things again, they'll be one of those teams, man. That and a lot of people are like, oh, well, fire Bill Belichick. Well, maybe not fire the guy, but you probably need to relinquish some of his general manager duties and let someone else come in and see if they can develop that offense, because he still has a great mind for the game. He can call the defense like anybody, like nobody else in the league. But offensively, they struggle and they just don't have the pieces. So, but either way, I digress. I like Miami to win this game just because they're pissed off. They lost again in primetime last week. They should win this game at home. All right, Atlanta taking on Tennessee. No Ryan Tannehill, no Kevin Byard. I like the Falcons to win this game straight up. I mean, listen, the trade talks of Derrick Henry, some of that stuff resonates a little bit. I don't know who's the quarterback. Is it Will Levis? Is he? I don't even know if he's getting the starter as the other guy that they had last year, Malik Willis. Who knows? Levis or Willis, either one of them suck. I like Atlanta to win this game. And if Atlanta doesn't win this game, shame on them. Shame on them. Okay. All right. Minnesota heading up to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. Vikings coming off of a resounding win against the San Francisco 49ers on the road. Kirk Cousins, big Kirko, doing his thing, throwing it up to Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison, breakout game for him. You look at the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love just the Packers just need to. I think they knew there was a possibility that this guy isn't the guy, right? So, and that contract speaks for itself, right? What they gave him. So they don't believe in him as much as they thought they did in the beginning of the season. Um, they just haven't really clicked. Honestly, I thought Aaron Jones missed a lot of time. The receivers have missed some time. Um, I like Minnesota's chances. Just the quarterback plays a little bit better than Green Bay. And I like Minnesota on the road, even though they're still missing just guys like Justin Jefferson. So it's all good. Quick comment here. Patrick says Trevor Lawrence referred to the Steelers prop as a little yellow towel. He may get his belt. Oh, he did say that. So come on, Trevor Lawrence. You can't be giving these guys um, newspaper clippings, right? All right, moving along. We got the LA Rams taking on the Dallas Cowboys, my Cowboys, in the morning slate of games. So listen, Rams, yeah, they're a sneaky, surprising little team there, right? But do they have what it takes to beat a team? I mean, I guess they do. I mean, they've had some pretty solid wins, and then you got Dallas coming off a bye. Will they be ready to click, ready to go? It's an early start for them. Technically, this is probably the earliest game that they've had all year so far. It's like a 12, 15, 12 o'clock start, 1 o'clock start. I forgot what it is in Central Time. I know it's 10 o'clock here, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'll give you my picks on that later. And then we got the New Orleans Saints and the Indianapolis Colts. No, Anthony Richardson's out, Gardner Minshew in. Not bad. I know they fell last week to Cleveland at home. New Orleans, terrible loss. Derek Carr looked like a crazed man. I don't know what was going on with him at yelling. I never seen him act like that before. He might have lost some of that locker room. I ain't gonna lie, man. The way he was acting last week, and he acted like his shit didn't stink. He was playing terrible too. But I like the Indianapolis Colts. I think they're better than what people expected them to be, which I thought they would be decent. I like them. And then you got Denver taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, and this game is going to be like a snowball. But I like Kansas City straight up. I mean, I'm not going to even mince my words about that. Kansas City is just a better team, regardless of the weather conditions. Okay. You got Philly taking on the Washington Commanders. This might be close. It was close a couple weeks ago when they played in Philadelphia. It's a divisional game. The Eagles might be coming. They might be a little bit high off of that win against the Dolphins. I'm not saying that they're impenetrable, even though I had them at number one. Any team can be beaten. We've seen that this year in the National Football League, that on any given Sunday, anyone can be beaten. However, though, it's still going to be close. I like Philly's chances to still pull it out at the end over the Commanders. And then I think Ron Rivera, his hot seat is going to get even hotter after this game, after this loss. And then you got Cleveland Browns on the road, heading up to the Pacific Northwest, which is a tough trip for any team to take on Seattle Seahawks in my another clutch pick of the week. Won't give you that pick yet, but listen, Cleveland, nice little solid win against Cleveland. They're putting some things together, 2 in a row at least. Seattle doing their thing right now. I like their chances at home, but we'll have to wait and see later on with that pick. And then you got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are reeling right now. The Bengals maybe trying to pick things up a little bit here, right? This one is going to be close to call, man. I ain't going to lie, but I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think they're going to hand the Niners their third loss of the year in a row. Just because I like the quarterback play. I think Joe Burrow is maybe starting to find his stride a little bit more. They're starting to get things figured out just a little bit. They're not quite where they need to be. But this is a tough matchup for San Francisco. But I like the Bengals' chances on the road. I think it'll be a close game. But I like the Bengals' chances. And then I got the final game of the afternoon slate. We got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray is activated. Is he activated? Or I know he's been practicing. I know that he's not going to play today. Obviously, it's still Josh Dobbs' job. But the Baltimore Ravens are just too good right now. And even though the Cardinals are putting up a really good fight, they just don't have enough at the end of the day. I like the Baltimore Ravens to win. So a couple comments here. We got Ben Cornett. What's up, Ben? He says, I agree with Carr maybe losing the locker room with the Saints and his teammates. I do love those scary faces he has since Halloween. Like, I don't know what was going on with him, man. I've never really seen him act like that. So it was kind of weird. And he probably caught his locker room off guard too. Like, they were like, dude, like, what's wrong with you? Frank Clark did sign with Seattle. I like that, bolstering their defense a little bit. So great point out there by Patrick there. And let's take a look at the oh, you know what? I am missing a slide. I did it again. It was the Monday night game and the let me go get that slide. Shoot. I don't know why I keep doing this every week. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe I didn't upload it correctly. Let's see here. Let's see if I got it on here. Yeah, there it is. All right. Live TV, y'all, or live streaming at its best right here. But we keep it moving here. I don't panic. I just proceed. That's how I get down here. So, all right, here we go. Here's the last slide here. We got the Monday night game, the Oakland Raiders, sorry. Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Detroit Lions. This is like a national holiday in Detroit. Like, when was the last time we've seen the Detroit Lions at home on a Monday night game? It's been I couldn't tell you the last time I've seen that. It's probably been a while, right? So they're going to be jacked up for this. The Las Vegas Raiders are a firestar. They're garbage, man. Their head coach sucks. Um, you know, Devontae Adams, he's just wasting his talent there. A lot of those guys, Max Crosby, get out of Las Vegas if you can. Run for the hills, save yourself. But I like the Lions, man. This one's an easy pick for me. The Lions, they probably feel a certain type of way getting their ass handed to them last week. They're going to be extra motivated to come in and win this game. So I'll take my chances with the Lions. And then finally, the Monday night game, you got the Chicago Bears with Justin Fields out again. So here comes what's the guy? Badgett, that's his name. Coming off his first career win last week. The Chargers reeling again, losing last week to who did they lose to last week? Was it Pittsburgh? I believe it was. Right? I think they lost to Pittsburgh at home. Chargers again at home. This is a toss-up for me, man, because the Chargers on paper, again, they have some of the best talent in the National Football League. They just can't get it together. They just can't get it together, man. So my heart is telling me go with the Chargers, but honestly, man, you can't trust these fools. So I'm going with the monsters of the Midway. I'm going with the Chicago Bears with their backup quarterback to get the win on Monday Night Football, and beat those damn Chargers and just put Brandon Staley to just put him out of his misery, man. Get rid of this guy. He sucks as a head coach. Should have never been the head coach in the first place. He's a defensive guy, and your defense sucks. That's the worst. At least if your defense was good, they might want to keep you around. But you're a defensive guy and your defense sucks anyway. Come on. Come on, dude. So we'll have to wait and see. But I like the Bears' chances. And I might regret that. It is what it is. And Ben says, why are you teasing us with those clutch picks, sir? You know what? That's a great segue, Ben. Because you're my friend and I like you, guy. I'm gonna go straight into those picks of the week here. All right. Here we go. So, man, listen, the last 2 weeks have just been hella annoying for me. I ain't gonna lie, man. I went 0-4 2 weeks in a row, man. And I'm looking to get back on the winning side of things. Listen, this stuff is hard, man. And I'm not. And some of these games, I like today. I'm going straight up. But the last couple of weeks, I've been doing like the actual spreads, and they're tough. And I'm no excuses here. We do what we can do, right? But it is what it is. But these are my picks. I got the Dallas Cowboys to win at home. I got Seattle's chances to win against the Cleveland Browns, just because Cleveland. Listen, going to the Pacific Northwest is not an easy task. Ask the guys that blaze the Oregon Trail. It's not hard, man. I mean, it's not easy. All right. So I like their chances to win at home. And for the Battle of New York, I like the Jets, man. Their defense is better. Zach Wilson's playing good. Not to say that Tyrod Taylor is a complete bum, but I just like the Jets' chances overall. And then in the battle of the top quarterbacks in this last year's draft, between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, I like the Texans. The Texans, man, they've got something going there. They've got something going. So those are my picks of the week, man. If I can go and sweep this week, man, that'll be good. I can get in that winning column again, and I'll feel better about myself, man. But yes, Ben says you're due. He says he likes the Jets. I get Tyrod playing good right now for the G-men, but he's going to face a great defense today, and that'll give him issues. Well said. Well said. Yes, I got the Bears with the upset. I wanted to, but I can see the Chargers sneak by this one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they should sneak by them. They're more talented, but their coach sucks, and he really scares me. If I'm a Chargers fan, the Raiders and the Chargers have the two worst coaches right now. At least they're up there, arguably, and then maybe the Washington Commanders. Okay, So we'll have to wait and see. But listen, I just that team just I don't know. They are, that's all I got, man. I take care of today. So had to hop on here early, but I appreciate you guys hopping in, like Patrick and Ben, man. Appreciate you guys getting up, especially Ben, because we're in the same time zone. So I appreciate you stopping by, man. But hey, listen, enjoy your NFL Sunday and your week, man. Today and tomorrow. Have a great time. I'll be back next week. I should be back next week at my normal time at 8 a.m., 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got to check my schedule and see how that works out. But listen, appreciate you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have an incredible week. And I'll see you back here next week. This is Clutch Sports Talk, NFL Sunday Wake Up with me, your boy, Ryan Flowers. Like I always say, never settle till the work is done. You guys have a great day. Peace out.